Hi friends, welcome to another edition of Quick Tip videos brought to you by dataplatformcentral.com. Previously we had asked for a poll on what would be your interested topics to see in this channel. As per the responses we received, more people, almost half of them have opted for Power Platform tips. So we decided we will again reach back with a Power Platform tip. So the tip for today would be how we can automate a common desktop activities using desktop flow. So desktop flows are a type of flows which is available from within your Power Automate. You can make use of desktop flows for automating most of your daily routine tasks which you perform through your desktop. A best example would be for you to go to some site, scrape some information from the site and put it into a file. Or another common example can be you have a file which is published from a site where you need to log into the site daily, download the file and then use it for further processing. So we will take the latter scenario in this case and see how we can do a quick demo on automating how we can connect to a site by passing the credentials and then going inside the site, navigating through the various pages and going to the download section of the site and download a file which we will be using for further processing for one of our projects. So let's see how we can use Power Automate for this purpose. To start off the demonstration, let us first look at the task that we will be performing on a daily basis. Manually, what we will be doing from desktop. This will be the set of activities which will be automated by using the desktop flow that we are creating inside Power Automate. So for this demonstration, what we are going to do is we are going to go to a publicly available site from which we can download some public data. So the site is called data.gov.in. That is the official site of public data which is supported by Indian government. So we'll first take a new browser instance which is Chrome in my case, and I am just typing in the address. So this will automatically load the website. Now inside the site we are going inside sectors and we have different sectors data available from within your site, and we will be going to architecture for this particular demonstration. Inside that you have different types of data which is available for free download which is related to the architecture section in India. And I am going to choose last item in the first list, which is variety wise daily marketplace of prices of chili red, and we will click on this and then it will take us to the main page for that, and there will be a CSV which is available for download. When you click on this CSV, it will ask you for what purpose you are going to download the data. We are going to have it for a non-commercial purpose and we are going to use it for academic purposes, and then I will click on submit without filling the names, and automatically the data will get downloaded. So this is the like a routine task that we are going inside a website, and in this case it's a public website, otherwise you have to pass in your user credentials. Once inside the website you want to navigate to multiple pages, finally you reach the page where you have the download option, then you go to the download option and you download your data in whatever format. In this case it's a CSV format, and we will be using this data for further processing. Now let's see how the same daily routine can be automated using a desktop flow. Only one additional step will be added to this, which is uploading this file to a Azure storage account. So I have already set up a storage account inside Azure portal where this CSV data will be uploaded to. I have set up a container inside that which says flow output, and inside this flow output I will be uploading the file which is downloaded from the website. So we will be creating a Power Automate desktop flow which will automatically perform all the activities. First opening a browser, going to the data.gov.in site, then navigating through the different options, going to the download page for the agricultural data, that is for the red chilies data, then inside that clicking on the CSV, putting in the required data elements like for academic purpose, then clicking on the download, and once it is downloaded it will automatically upload this file to Azure storage container. So let's see how this can be done using a Power Automate desktop flow. So let's start off by going to the flow.microsoft.com, which is the site for Power Automate. So once inside the home page of the Power Automate, you can see the create option. You can click on the create option and it will show you the landing page with different types of flows which you can create from using Power Automate. Now the first one will be an automated cloud flow, second one will be the instant cloud flow, third one will be the scheduled one, fourth one will be the desktop flow. So we don't require all these three, we require only the desktop flow because we are going to automate the activities as if what we perform from our desktop. So we should be using a desktop flow for this purpose. So click on desktop flow and it will ask you for a name of the flow, and more importantly, you actually, if you want, you can create it from online, like using the new desktop flow option. For this you need to set up a Dataverse which requires a license. If you don't want to do that, there is also an option to download it. So I have already set up my trial, which is why I am getting your Dataverse was created and I am getting the option to create it from the cloud itself. If you are not created this trial, what you can do is, if you want to use the free version, it will ask you for a downloading or launching of the app. So once you click on that app, automatically first time if you are doing it, it will do the installation, and for the further cases when you click on it, it will launch the desktop app. So once you open the desktop app, it will look like this. This is like a app within your computer itself which you can launch. When you go to the run and you type Power Automate, you can see that Power Automate desktop will be appearing. This is just like Power BI desktop, which is a desktop tool for creating the flows, and for using this tool, this is absolutely free. You don't require any licenses. Only for deploying the flow to the cloud you would require a license, or if you don't have a license, you can take a trial for a restricted period. After that you have to go for one of the formal licenses. So here I will be using the Power Automate desktop tool for creating our flow, and once done, once if you want to publish it, then you can publish it by connecting to your flow account. So now, first, if you remember, the first step that we did while we did our routine task was to open a new browser instance. So if you see, there are multiple types of sets of tasks which are available from within your Power Automate, like loops, conditional tasks, then there are wait tasks, system tasks, like that, and you also have some tasks for web and web automation. So here what we should be performing would be actually a web automation, because we are going to load a site and then we are going to navigate through the site. So let's open web automation, and if you see the different tasks available, there is a task like launch new Chrome. This will help us to launch a new browser in Chrome. So because I am using Chrome as my default browser, I can drag and drop this task and create a new instance of Chrome. Based on what browser you use, you can choose a corresponding option. There is direct support for Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome and Microsoft Edge. So we are going to launch a new instance of Chrome, and now we need to give the initial URL for this new instance. So what you can do is, like, you can go back to the main page, and the new main URL, you need to go to the main URL. Okay, so if you remember, we started off from data.gov.in. So you can copy this and you can paste it inside the initial URL. And what should be the window state? You need to make it maximized, so that when the browser window is launched, it will come in a maximized manner, so that you can see what is the website that is loading and you can see what is the content inside. And if you want to have set any additional properties, like if you want to clear the cache or clear the cookies, that can be set here. When you do in the actual case, you have to set this to on, because in case there is something cached, you need to make sure that it is cleared every time before it opens the site. But when you are testing it in your development machine, better not do it. If you are doing it, all your browser history and everything will get cleared. So then it will be very difficult for every time. And next time when you log in for any of your other sites also, you have to pass in your username and password. Whatever information which has been auto saved, everything will be done. The sessions will also be automatically expire. So for testing purpose, keep it off, and when you are deploying and trying it in your server machines or in your cloud, you can set it to on. So let's keep all the others to the default option itself, and we are going to now click on save. So it will automatically create the first step inside your flow, which is launching a new Chrome instance. Now if you try to run this, immediately you can see it in action. Click on run, it will automatically open a new window of Chrome, and it will go to data.gov.in. As you see, it automatically went to that particular site, opened a new window and it went inside that site. Now the next step, if you remember, was to click the sectors. So for that purpose, we just need to add a next task. So keep it as it is, and then you can go to the next one. So what we are going to do is like we are going to click a section within our website. So each of these section will represent a UI element. So what we need to do is like we need to click on a UI element. So let's check inside Power Automate what is there which can be used for clicking on a UI element. So you have something known as web there. You can click on web data extraction and see the different tasks there. If you don't see anything which is related to UI, you can see that there is something called UI automation. You can check inside that, or you can even search on the top. You can just type UI. So anything which is related to UI will be shown. So you can see something called click UI element in the window. So you can use this task and you can drag and drop it into your flow. And what is the UI element you need to click on? That you need to identify. So for that, if you see, you can have this button. You can click on the drop down and you can add UI element. Now you need to go to that and find out what is the UI element. So you can move through the site and it will show you the different UI elements. When you get your UI element, you can click on sectors. Once you have selected the required element inside that, click on save to save the element, and the click will be the default option, which will be the left. Now that you have completed the second option also, if you want, you can now test them. You can close the existing browser instance, and now if you try running it again, it will open a new browser instance. Go to data.gov.in and it will click on the sectors. As you see, it already clicked on the sectors and you went into the landing page of the different sectors. Now if you see, the next step is to click on agriculture. So you can do the same thing. It's always advisable to put small delays between these clicks, because if you are putting one click UI element after the other, there is a chance like before the web page gets loaded in full, it will try to look for the second UI element which you can't find, and it will throw you some error. So to make it safe, you can put a small delay between two UI elements and then apply the click. So in this case, now we should go and click on the agriculture. So you need to put a wait and then put on the next click UI element. So next, let's put a wait. We have a type of tasks which can be used for putting a waiting time. So you can drag and drop a wait, and you can put a duration of say 3 seconds. So whatever you are passing here, that will be that much amount of seconds will be waiting. So it will wait for around 3 seconds and then it will click on another UI element. So if you want to copy it also, it will work. You can copy and then you can paste on it and you can move it down. That's also another way to add it if you want to replicate. And you have something like move down. You can click on move down, it will move to the next one. And in this case, instead of sectors, you have to click on agriculture. So here you need to click on the first combo box, click on add UI element, and you need to go inside the browser and you need to select the agriculture. You can see the agriculture, and then once you go to that particular option, click on the control button. Pressing down the control button, you click, and automatically that element will be added. So click on done and click on save. Again, if you want to check till now, you can click on run. After every step, if you want to test, if you want to step through, you can click on run. It will complete all the steps until the current one. Now it will wait for some time because you have put that wait element, and after that it will click on agriculture. So till now it has been going fine. Now we need to click on this. This is also another kind of a hyperlink. So again, you can use another UI for this, and again you can put a small d. And now we need to point it to the next link. So click on add UI element, and inside the page, once you click on the agriculture, you need to go to the last one. So that's a hyperlink. So press down your control key and select, and then click on done. Click on save. So till now it is going fine. So now what we need to do, we need to just add one more click event, that is for this CSV image. Again click on that, and now you need to change the element once again. Go to add UI element, and now you select the new element. So go inside the website, select the new element and select the image. After clicking down the control key and click on done. So till now everything is working fine. Now we need to add 2 steps for filling these items. First one should be fill to non-commercial, which is a radio button. Second one is a checkbox, and we need to check on academician, and then finally we need to click on the submit button. So now we need to add the actions for all of these. So for this purpose, let's go to the flow, and first thing is to radio button. So you can search for radio button and see what all activities are available for radio button. You can see that get selected radio button, select radio button. So in this case we are going to select the radio button. So select radio button on web page can be used for that purpose. And then it will ask you for the UI element. Just again go inside, click on add UI element, go to the radio button and choose it. And next one is the checkbox. So again look for checkbox, and you can see again set checkbox state. So you can use that task inside, and you need to select which checkbox needs to be selected. And if you see the checkbox state, it should be set as selected. So select this academia as the option and click on done. And now you can try running it once again. So now all the inputs are now selected. Now we need to have a click event for the button. So again go back, and you need to look for the buttons inside web page. So you can see press button on web page, drag and drop the press button on web page and select the button again by going to the UI element. So this UI element makes it very easier for us to select the various elements inside the web page and make sure that we add the required action, whether it is click or selected, etc. Testing, again click on run. It will open a new browser instance. Again open and start from the first step. As you see, now the file has been successfully downloaded after selecting the required selection options. So now the first part of our automation is complete. Now the second part is how we can get this file uploaded to a file storage container that we have set inside our Azure portal. So let's now see how we can do that. For copying the files to an Azure Blob Storage inside Power Automate, we will be making use of a command line utility called AZCopy. You can search for AZCopy in your browser window, and you can go to this get started with AZCopy page, and you will have the download link available for the AZCopy. You can click on that corresponding link based on your OS version, if it's a Windows 64-bit or 32-bit or Linux, etc. And you can store it inside a folder within your local file system. Once you have stored it inside that, you can go back to your Power Automate and you can make use of a PowerShell script source to call this AZCopy. So generally, if you see the way the AZCopy needs to be called, you need to first pass the full path where the AZCopy is downloaded and extracted to, and followed by the statement copy, and then you just need to follow it with the full path of the file and also the full blob path to which the file needs to be copied. So let's see how we can use that inside our Power Automate. So let's add a PowerShell. So if you search for Power, you can see that there is a task called run PowerShell script. You can drag and drop it. And here you need to pass the PowerShell code to run. So to make our life more easier, we will be using some variables, and we will be passing the path, the file path and the blob path through this variables. So let's see how we can do that. So we will be adding the below tasks for performing the file copy. We will be first adding an if condition to make sure that the file is existing on our desktop. That means the file has been successfully downloaded. In case due to some reason the file is not downloaded, then there is no need for performing all the other scripts. So we will have that prerequisite check, and then inside that we will create 3 variables. So we can make use of the set variable task for that. The first one is called Azure Blob SAS, second one will be the AZ copy, third one will be the upload folder. And for the Azure Blob SAS, we will pass the full HTTPS URL for our Azure Blob Storage. This you can obtain by going to your Azure portal, going inside your container, and inside that you have set a folder for flow output, and inside that you have something known as shared access token. So you can click on shared access token, and you need to give the permission for add, create and write, and you can set your dates till which the SAS has to be valid based on your requirement, and then you can click on generate SAS token. Then it will provide you with the full SAS URL for this, which will be the HTTPS URL. You can copy it from here and you can go back and paste it within your variable. So you can double click on it, and for that variable you can just paste it. Whatever you are getting from there, just paste it. Make sure that wherever there is a percentage sign, you need to make into double percentage, because percentage also represents the name of the variable. You see, the name of the variable is also represented by using percentage inside Power Automate. For those purpose, wherever there are a percentage coming inside your URL, you need to add one more percentage before that so as to escape it. So wherever there is a percentage, make it 2%. Once you have done that, you can click on save. And similarly for the AZ copy, you can copy the folder to which you have downloaded the AZ copy program from internet. And similarly for the upload folder, you will pass the value or the folder inside which that file is downloaded from your website. So in my case, it is downloaded to the downloads folder of my website. So if I go to my system and look into the downloads folder, I'll be able to see the file. And now finally we are going to run this PowerShell script, and the PowerShell script will be AZ copy, the full path of the AZ copy, followed by the copy command, then followed by the file path, the place where the file is actually placed, to the blob file, and finally there will be a recursive rule in order to make sure that whatever files are there inside that should be uploaded. In this case it's a single file, so don't need to worry about that. So you click on save that, and now you can click on the run option. If you go back to the flow, you can see that it will run the rest of the paths as well, and it's now successful. You can see it stepping through all the other options. Now if you go back to your flow output folder and refresh it, you can see the file. See, now the file is being uploaded, which means that your Power Automate flow was success. So this is how you create a desktop flow which can automate all the manual activities which you do on a daily basis. Now in this case, we looked at a very simple activity where we go to a website, we go and navigate through multiple pages, go to the download area, download a file, then finally we upload it to the Azure Blob Storage using AZ copy utility, which can be freely downloaded from the internet. So this quick and introductory demonstration using Power Automate Desktop Flow showed how you can automate most of your desktop activities which are doing on a day-to-day basis, where it involves some kind of a manual intervention like going to a site, adding some credentials, clicking on some buttons. All of these can be automated by using a Power Automate Desktop Flow. In addition, you can also add lots of control flow related logic like if-else condition like what we saw, or looping conditions, etc. So make sure you explore all the tasks inside Desktop Flow and see what all things can be automated. Hope this video acts as a primer for you to get an introduction on how you can make use of this Desktop Flow feature available within your Power Automate platform. As usual, feel free to send me your comments and feedback. Subscribe to my channel to get useful tips like this, and click on the bell icon to get notifications. Meet you soon with another useful quick tip next week. Till then, bye and thanks for your time.